No, I still can't hear you. I don't know why. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm live. Oops. Properties. All right, say something.
Testing, testing.
I think that worked. Now we'll just wait for the stream to go live, and I think we're good to go.
Okay. Is my background okay?
Yeah, you got
Okay.
the rack in the background. Of
Yeah.
course, it's fine. No, I still can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
I can hear it on my end. That's
I heard that. Yeah.
yeah. Just gotta make sure I got your microphone going, and I'm pretty sure we're good. Give it 1 second, guys. There we go.
Nice. I can
We
hear it in
are
the background.
live. Welcome, boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen. The first ever TKR Power Hour live stream, whatever you want to call it. We'll think of a better name. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, what's going on, Richie? Not too bad. Little cloudy on Monday, but it's not bad. How about you?
I'm just getting ready for this college football final, man.
Yeah.
I'm hyped that we got a season in.
Yeah,
So
no
I mean,
doubt.
I guess let's start off with the basic stuff. Let's talk about Rutgers football. Um, Nothing crazy going on right now. We saw a couple transfers lately. The most notable being Kayron Adams. My thoughts personally, I think it's going to sting a little bit to lose him. But what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I thought he was a good back. I know we've talked about in the past, like he was really productive every time he got the ball. We both thought he should get more carries. I'm sure Rutgers is working the transfer portal right now, trying to see if anyone's around. It looks like there possibly is one that they're interested in. Yeah, they would need. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco's, getting older in the program. Aaron Young's still there, and behind them, it's a bunch of young guys. So obviously, I think Karen Adams is a good back, and he'll latch on somewhere very good that he'll be productive at.
Yeah, one school I saw that was kind of showing a lot of interest in him was Buffalo. I think that'd be an intriguing fit. I think
Yeah.
I can't even remember their head coach's name, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he does a very good job of develop.
Leopold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he does a very good job of developing players, and I think he'd be a really good fit there. But I could see him going back closer to home in that Midwest Ohio type area too.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll see and kind of just wait and see what happens with him. But
Yeah. Actually, an intriguing note on Buffalo. I believe Savon Huggins is there as a coach.
yeah, I think he's the assistant running backs coach or
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. But yeah, like I said, they got a nice little program. And then you know who else I saw was interested? I saw Jackson State was pretty interested in him.
Hmm.
And that program's intriguing now because now you got Deion Sanders running the show. They got a couple 4 stars. They got a couple transfers and nice little program. We'll see what happens with them too. But
Hmm.
back to Rutgers. You just talked about it a little bit. They could hit the running back or hit the transfer portal for a running back. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I mean, obviously we know the focus isn't on running back; it's on quarterback and offensive line, especially the interior. Um, I don't even like. Where do you go with that? I know we're kind of waiting to see what happens with the
Yeah.
quarterback situation, and that's another mess over there. I know no all of them are coming back as of right now. Noah Vedril's likely the starter still
Hmm.
as of right now. After that, there's Sikowski, there's Langan, you got the young guns and Schneider and Simon. So we've heard some positive things about Simon. I just
Hmm.
don't know if you could start him in year 2 of I guess his development, even though he's
Right.
technically a freshman still.
Yeah,
But
I think it would be best to maybe redshirt him now next season
mhm.
and see if he could win the job in 2022. But yeah, like you said, Vedral right now is most likely the starter. I know they wanted Jack Cohn from Wisconsin,
Mhm.
but he obviously went to Notre Dame. So it'd be interesting to see what they do there. So
Oh, I think I lost you for a sec, Chris. Hold
okay.
on. I don't know what I just did. Where's the Zoom call? Oh, yep, I lost you. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know what I just did, but let's see if I can bring you back real quick. Yeah, like I said, guys, this is our first time doing this, so bear with me. I am still learning everything. Zoom meeting. No, that's not it either. There we go. We got you back.
All
All
right,
right.
cool.
Anyway,
Sorry about
as you
that,
were
guys.
saying, no, as you were saying, you were talking about Jack Cohn. They wanted him
Yeah.
obviously pretty badly. He's a nice piece. I think he would have fit pretty well. Unfortunately, he's at Notre Dame now, and he'll probably be the starter immediately for them. But yeah, I guess it's just kind of a wait and see in the portal. I think you'll wait till after spring and you'll probably add somebody. But until then, it's kind of just a wait and see show. But all right, we got a couple questions. Let's see. What do you attribute
Cool.
Rutgers' lack of success in the transfer portal to? Shown a ton of interesting guys, but haven't been able to reel anyone in. I wouldn't say that's true. I'd say they landed. Bear with me on that too. Finey Maije. They landed him.
I-95.
Yeah, there you go. Nicknamed I-95 by Chris Nowalski. He's a very good player. He was 2019 All-American Conference first team, I believe it was. He looked good. He had a up and down year, I should say, in 2020 with Temple. But I don't even look at this season to like even count at this point.
Right.
It's so weird. There's so many things that went on. Teams are missing games left and right, but he's a very good piece. That was a very good addition. And they also added David Nagagu. Dude, I'm the worst with this.
Yeah, we need a nickname for him too.
Yeah, if you guys can think of a nickname for him, let me know. Very good player. I think he has. I shouldn't say very good. He's very athletic. I think he's gonna have. He has a lot of upside. He has the potential to be a starting right tackle. I think he's only in year 2, so give him time. Let him develop under Ulrich, and obviously Ulrich has already proved he can develop a couple guys. I think him and Bordner will battle it out, but I still see Bordner kind of winning a job as of right now. But yeah, as far as the other guys in the portal, I think it's tough. I think the transfer portal is basically a free agency, and every top team wants to improve in every position possible. The quarterbacks are going to just keep going to these top schools. Look at Joe Burrow last year, Justin Fields last year. They're both championship caliber quarterbacks, you could say. Everyone's just transferring. It's pretty crazy, and I think it's a free agency, and it's gonna be hard to beat out some of these teams. It's just like recruiting all over again. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys in the transfer portal. Obviously, the best players are going to go to the best team, so to speak, right? So, Rutgers, obviously they've gotten their share so far, and I think Shiano is going to be selective. Also, I'm sure he wants to go get a certain position or a certain fit, and not everyone also fits. You could have a 5-star player. Yeah, of course Rutgers wants him, but maybe he doesn't fit. So
yeah, and Mike just brought up another part of his question. Is it due to lack of recent success? I'd probably say yes. I don't think having 12, 13 offensive coordinators in 13 years is helping at all.
Right.
I do think with Shiano here, you're just like recruiting. You see recruiting take an uptick. You're going to see transfer portals take an uptick. It is tough. It is tough when you win 3 games in 2 seasons before this year. It's going to be tough, but you can see the rebuild is the program's on the rise. The rebuild's happening, and it's going to take some time. It's not just going to happen overnight. I don't know if anyone saw the exact 3 wins that they got happening this year from Rutgers, so it's a surprise. But they look good. They look better, I should say, not as good, but they look better than what they've had in the past 4 or 5 years under Ash, whatever it was. But yeah, the transfer portal is going to be tough. It's literal free agency of college football players. And then I'm pretty sure almost everyone, if not everyone's immediately eligible. And that just makes it that much harder. But all right, let's see what else we got. How do you see the spring practices and spring games shaking out? What's up, Spanky, by the way? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if they're even going to have spring. I think it's going to be tough. It depends, I guess, on the whole corona vaccine and everything. Do you have to get it? Do you not have to get it? How do they distribute it? Like, I really don't know what's going to happen with spring. Do you kind of just make a bubble situation again? Maybe. I don't know. What do you think about that one, Chris?
Yeah, honestly, it's still up in the air right now. No one really knows. I'm sure the plan is right now is to start, sometime in March, have the spring game and, sometime in April. But like Greg Shannon said, if they have to, shift gears, they'll shift gears. They didn't have spring practice last year. They barely even have, they didn't really have a training camp either. So, it won't be surprising if there's no spring practice again. It would hurt, but you gotta make do with what you have. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Definitely. Next up, we got Justin Larkin asking about how did Rutgers lose out on Guarantano to Washington State? I'll just take that one real quick. They didn't lose out on him. They just didn't show interest in him. We were told that he's not the best in the locker room and probably would cause a couple problems should he come here. And I'm pretty sure Greg knew that, and Greg kind of just stayed away from it and just didn't want to. You don't want anything with the culture rebuild and all that. You don't want anything to disrupt the locker room and I guess the relationship between coaches, players, so on and so on. But Wazoo was a good fit, I think. I don't even. Do they still run the air raid? Maybe.
I didn't
don't
watch
even
it.
know.
I didn't watch them. I'm not sure.
Ever since Mike Leach left, I don't even know if they run the air raid. I don't think they're a bad program. I know their head coach was their former OC. I think he was a pretty good QB developer. So we'll see what happens. What he does with Guarantano in I guess 1 year left. Let's see. What happened to the use of the tight ends? You want to go, or you want me to answer that one first?
Yeah, sure. I think they were involved. They use Haskins a lot as like one of those trick plays where they throw it back across the field. Alimo was involved a little bit, but they struggle with blocking at times too. I know Rutgers has a bunch of young guys in the program that are at tight end. So maybe they could, take a step forward next season and see what they can do. Getting Haskins was a big get for them, and Alimo, I think he can only improve as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the jury's still out on that position, and it'll be interesting to see what Jonathan Lewis can do. More away from his injury that he had. So I don't know what else you got on that.
Just going back to I'm looking at the PFF grades now. I mean, every single one of them struggled with blocking, but I feel like the only one that didn't, obviously, was Brandon Myers, who's the fullback / tight end, whatever.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know if Gleason ever really used the tight ends. I know Anthony Siciliano, our film analyst, posted this before the season. Quick article. It's called the nub tight end, and it's mostly used for blocking, and it seems like that's what Gleason's intent is just to use these guys as blockers for the most part. Do I agree with it? No, but is it buying more time in the pass blocking game? Maybe, because, they did look pretty decent pass blocking. Let's see. Is Haskins fully healthy? We don't know. Alimo, is he a blocker? Probably not. He's probably more of a receiving tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's where Konopka is going to have to come in the next year or two. He's a big body tight end, and I think he'll be a heck of a blocker for the Scarlet Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
He has a good frame too.
We kind of speculated he would be a tackle eventually, but if they're going to use walking tight ends, it makes sense to just keep him at tight end. But let's see what else we got. Michael Wade asked, is a kid from Kansas State just a special teams returner, or can he play running back? Well, he's not playing running back. I'll tell you that much. He'll probably back up Cruikshank in the slot. From what I know, and from what I was told from some of our friends at the Kansas State Rivals site, he's an okay receiver, nothing crazy. He needs to work on his route running. Special teams, though, explosive. He might be, I don't want to say it, but he might be more explosive than Cruikshank back there. And you put those,
scary.
Yeah, I know. You put those two back there, and you have the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year, the Big 10 Specialist Returner, whatever that award was, and now you put them together, you're going to see touchbacks left and right. I don't think no one's going to want to even kick to these guys at this point. My biggest question with him is, can he punt return? I know Rutgers didn't really use Cruikshank as a punt returner.
Right.
I don't know why, but use Bo Melton a little bit, I guess, back there. But it seems for the most part they just trust Avery Young to go back there and just catch and touch
catch the ball,
catch, whatever. Just basically catch it. Don't do anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about him at all. I know the kid's freaky. He's freaky.
Like you said, Pickett. I've always, since he committed and since they were, talking about bringing him in, I was just thinking about pick your poison. Who you want to kick to, Cruikshank or Youngblood? Like you said, it'll be interesting to see if one of them does end up returning punts next year. Like you said, also, Avery Young has been the punt returner, for the last 2 years. I think they need to get more, returns from there and help set up the offense in a better position. Maybe Youngblood can come in and be the punt returner next year, and get some yards back.
So put it like this, for those of you that are going to probably question the hell out of me for calling him better than Cruikshank, I searched his name on Google real quick. The top 15 specialists coming into the 2020 season, Cruikshank's not even on the list, number one, which I'm a little shocked by.
Mm-hmm.
But number one, Jalen Waddle. I think everyone knows who he is. Alabama wide receiver, stud, speedy, fast, very good. Number two, Youngblood. That's it. Like I'm telling you, he might be better than Cruikshank. And that's no knock on Cruikshank. Cruikshank
No,
is
not at
very,
all.
very good. But
What do you have? Two kick return touchdowns.
two
this
kick
year?
returns this year. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's 4 on his career as a college football player. It's
not bad.
another interesting name on here too. Amir Smith Marcetti, former New Jersey native, former Rutgers commit too at one point.
I think he declared for the draft.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but I don't understand how all these guys get really good after decommitting. But hey, Chaos C said, "Hey, Rutgers needs help on the offensive line. Help bad. Why did Rutgers not offer Keeler? Do they go after any other OL?" I'll take this one for a sec. They are talking to a bunch of offensive linemen right now. Matt Keeler's a tackle. I know they added Nagugu. I hate pronouncing stuff. They took him and he's a tackle. Do you really need another tackle? No, but I do think Matt Keeler definitely could have helped. I think they're going to regret not offering him. I think since this year didn't count at JUCO, I believe he has 5 or 4 for 5 to play. So, I mean, it's definitely going to hurt not having him. And I think with the brother connection, it was a no-brainer. But again, with limited scholarships right now, if it's just tough to throw out another offer for a tackle when you just literally just took another tackle. So
Right.
it's like,
I'm sure they're saving the scholarships
Yeah.
for after spring or like sometime May, June.
yeah, there's going to be a ton of kids that enter at post-spring, if there is a spring. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
In like the May area, there's always a bunch of kids that enter the portal. I mean, heck, look at the Rivals portal Twitter. Like, even today, I think there's been like 20 kids enter the portal. This is madness, and I kind of love it. I kind of like the whole idea of free agency. It definitely hurts certain teams, but definitely helps certain teams too. So, I mean, I think last year Rutgers brought in the second most or even the most transfers out of any FBS team. I think they brought in 20 kids total, which is just insane. And it's going to help Shiano rebuild a lot quicker too. I mean, look at it. Dwumfor, Brendan White. I know Brendan White didn't play much, but there's still significant upgrades compared to what you had. I'm trying to think who else. Ahanatu played significant snaps. Cruikshank, we were just talking about. Haskins is a
Vedral,
starter.
he was starting quarterback most of the year.
Vedral. I mean, the whole thing's just madness. But you got to thrive on the madness. I love it. Let's see what else we got. Does Justin Larkin, does Rutgers have any chance of landing Taiwan Malone or any recruits left out there? I kind of hinted at this. I don't think they're going to hit the high school route anymore. I think they have 22, 23 kids right now, if I remember correctly, something like that. There's not many spots left in this class, in this 2021 class. So no, I think they're just going to sit back. They're going to chill out, look at the portal. Like Chris just said, they'll wait until afterwards, and then after spring, there's going to be a ton of kids over the next, I don't know, 2, 3, even 4 or 5 months. Because when did they land McLean Carter? It was pretty late.
Man, that was
that was a late one.
Yeah.
Noah Vedral, I think, was in May area, June area.
I believe so.
So it's gonna be interesting. But I don't think they hit the high school route. I mean, if Malone wanted to come, they would definitely take him. That's
absolutely.
No brainer. But I mean, I still think he goes south for baseball, and I think that's what's gonna happen there. Another Cruikshank Youngblood at punt return. There you go, Mike. Just answered that one for you. Is this class done? I think we just kind of answered that one too. My recruit says we had Melton and Cruikshank. Youngblood replacing Melton on returns will help Melton focus on receiver, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a day and night improvement. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? On Youngblood replacing Melton?
As on special teams.
On special teams, and Roman thinks it might help Melton focus more on receiver.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I don't think Melton being on special teams, either way would make a big difference. Maybe he gets a little extra time at receiver, but he was effective on special teams also. He had the punt return off the throwback. I mean, he's speed. He can get he can make moves in the open field. So. Maybe he could take another step as a receiver, but I don't think one way or another, if him being on special teams would kind of hold him back on at receiver.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like you said, he had a very good year. Like, look at some of the top receivers even in NFL. Like, I guess not really nowadays, but Tyreek Hill's a return man. Sean Jackson was a return man, and
Yeah.
they all. If you have the ability or that playmaking ability, I see no reason why you shouldn't be on special teams at this point. I
Hmm.
kind of question why Ash didn't use him as much if you were going
Hmm.
to go that route.
And
But
I remember Greg Schiano always used his best players, so to speak, on special teams. So
yeah, definitely interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Any news on Corey Floyd Jr.? We hinted at this on the board. I wouldn't be too optimistic. I know. I don't even think Rutgers is recruiting him that hard, if they are recruiting him still. It doesn't sound like he's even in. He'll stay in this area, so to speak. It sounds like he's going to go to UConn right now. Danny Hurley's a heck of a recruiter. I don't think anyone can knock that. UConn's back in the Big East. That's basketball heaven for some schools. I still think the Big East is top 3 conference. You can debate me on that all you want. The Big Ten is definitely number 1 this year, but I do think the Big East is still a powerhouse when it comes to basketball. And I know a lot of people are going to hate on me for that comment. But
UConn's back in the top 25 now.
yeah, I saw they just entered, I think, number 25 this week, right?
Yep, 25. Yeah.
So I mean,
And Rutgers is obviously dropped out after
yeah,
last week.
they have a nice little program. So I mean, and they're like I said, it's a basketball powerhouse. I think you could. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one. I think you can argue that they might be one of the blue bloods. They are. They've always had a consistently good basketball team. I know they had a couple off years, but even Kevin Ollie, I think, had 100 wins, 100 and something wins compared to 70 losses or something like that. They're still very good teams. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Corey,
I think they're a top team too. Yeah.
if I'm a betting man and you guys want to go submit your fan future cast, I'd go put one in for Corey Floyd, the UConn, real quick. Let's see. Spanky, and that's a big if we have a spring practice, how will the QB room benefit compared to last year? I'll let you start us off with that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you could get experience anywhere, it's obviously a huge plus. Obviously, I think they honestly did well with the little time they had in terms of practice and training camp and getting ready for the season. A lot of their install was basically done like this, basically over video. And then they had a little time to practice for the season. I'm sure that Gleason didn't install everything. So maybe we'll see even more wrinkles next year, but definitely having a spring, it's a huge plus to get some reps to, throw to the guys, everything run plays. So no doubt it would be a huge plus if they can have any type of a spring.
So now that's the crazy part. Just like think about that for a second. You see us struggling right here, and like I'd say we're younger than most of the coaching staff, but you
Right.
see us struggling with the videos and all that. Now imagine trying to learn the plays and I just walk through them. Even the freshmen, like all the freshmen are just sitting here, like, what the heck is going on? There's just so many.
I mean, they had they had their iPad, but still.
I know, but yeah, just imagine like 2 people.
Yeah.
Like we're having trouble now. Imagine like I don't know, a QB room of what 5 scholarship
Right.
kids, probably 3 to 4 walk-ons. There's like
Plus
9
all the
kids.
receivers, running
Plus,
backs,
yeah,
tight
the
ends.
receivers. Like it's crazy to think about. I give them a lot of credit for pulling that off. What's the next one? Oh, just getting a little hoops. Michael wants to know any idea on the timeline for Cliff O's return. Not having him has really hurt us. I think it's more than not having Cliff at this point. They've been struggling mightily offensively. I actually had the box score before. Here it is. Yeah, there's no interior post game like at all on offense, and it's getting kind of ugly. And it's kind of just like, what the heck is going on? I know Miles is probably tired as could be. The man's playing 30 plus minutes. I think he was with Cliff. I think he was playing what? 22, 23.
Yeah, it was
around
around the 20s.
They're kind of splitting it for the most part, and just having those extra like 10 to 15 minutes for Cliff to come in, give Miles a break. Miles comes off the bench, blah blah blah, back and forth. It definitely hurts. Definitely hurts big time. I don't as far as when he's going to come back. I know the announcers said that he was doing some running work on Saturday or Friday, whatever it was. Whenever they practice.
Thursday, Friday, yeah.
Is that when we talked to Pikel?
Thursday.
All right, so we talked to Pikel on Thursday, and they
I think they practiced after that.
Yeah, so they practiced right after that Pikel presser on Thursday. It's on this YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. He doesn't say much about Cliff, but the announcers on Saturday during the game said that Pikel told them that Amarui's running around in practice the other day. I actually thought he might have played on Saturday, but I mean, with a week off and the fact that he's running in practice, I think that there's a very good chance he comes back versus Wisconsin, and I do think you're going to need him versus Wisconsin team. This is a very, very good number. What are they? Number 9 in the country right now.
But something like that in the top 10, I believe. Yeah.
I mean, just looking at their team real quick, Dimitri Trice leads them in points per game with
Mm-hmm.
14.8 points per game, 45% shooting. Jacob Young's son, Micah Potter, he leads them in rebounding. 7 rebounds a game. Dimitri Trice, 4 assists. Their only losses are Marquette, who has an okay team, and I'm surprised they lost to Maryland actually.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was
Maryland's
watching the
okay.
game with Indiana the other day. It was a good game. Went down to the wire.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're intrigued, I know they play tomorrow night versus Michigan, and that's going to be a very good game. You could see a preview of Michigan while you're watching a preview of Friday's matchup versus Wisconsin. It's going to be a very good game. I'm not very confident. The way this team's playing right now, I just don't know. I don't know if
Yeah.
Rutgers could pull off the upset there. I think it's going to be very tough. But I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that.
Yeah. I wrote about it like 3 times the last couple of days about the defense and rebounding. Uh,
Rebounding.
the
Jeez.
rebounding has been bad. I do have Jacob Young the other day was saying don't worry, relax. He was pulling Aaron Rodgers like relax, we're good. But we'll see if that's really true come Friday. He says this week off will be good to get rest, and but
Hmm.
I don't know if they're gonna fix the rebounding in like 4 days. But definitely the defensive rebounding need to step up because I was
Yeah.
I was even taking a deeper dive into the non-conference games and they were giving up a lot of points then.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at that. I didn't really put too much stock into that, but you can see it being a big problem now.
It's kind of weird because like this is not that's not like what Pikel's teams do. Like if
Yeah.
you've seen Pikel's teams, we've both seen them over the years. Like they are known for rebounding and defense, and this year it's like, oh my God, they're scoring a ton, but what happened to the defense and the rebounding?
Hmm.
So I mean, I think it's what 5 games in a row. I think I wrote it down that they've
5 games in a row they've been out rebounded, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, fifth game in a row, and that's the fifth time this season they've been out rebounded. I know. I'm pretty sure they're all out of or in conference games.
Hmm.
It's definitely very concerning. Like what is going on with this team? Why are
Hmm.
they getting out rebounded? Could you attribute it to the big man being tired and Miles just playing a ton of minutes?
Hmm.
Probably, yeah. I think that factors in. I think Harper needs to step it up a little bit with the rebounding, even though I think he's second on the team still.
Yes, he is.
Someone else just if you're going to play these 3 guard lineups, you have to bank on someone else getting these rebounds.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that's what Pike called for. I think if
yeah,
Cliff was able to return soon, obviously I think that's a
Oop,
big
I
reason
think I
why
lost you there
that
for a sec, Chris.
Michael. I'm sorry.
Let me see. Hold
Okay.
on.
Man, sorry for that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you still.
There we go. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like they should not be getting out rebounded the way they are, and it's very concerning. But
Yeah.
let's see what else we got
Yeah.
here. Oh, I lost you again. I can't hear you. I don't know if the stream
Testing.
can hear you. Ooh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, still can't hear you. Goddamn. All right. Give me one sec, guys. We're gonna be right back. I don't know how to get. Why is your sound not working again? Here we go again. Give me one sec. Let's see. Give me one sec, guys. I don't know why this isn't working again. I don't know how I did it before. All right, Chris, say something.
Talking,
All right,
testing.
perfect. There we go. We are back again. If you couldn't tell, got some new headphones. Don't judge me. They are pretty ugly. They are my video game headphones. We're going to use them for this for now. So now what were we talking about? We're talking about the bigger lineups and
Yeah.
stuff. It's definitely they got to do something. I don't think that you really have another 4 that you could put in place of Ron or move down Ron to the 3. I think we knew this was going to happen a little bit with big play because just Big Ten guys, their teams just have so many bigs. It's hard to stop them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that was a big reason why Pikel, played Cliff a lot. He was able to get the rebounds but I think he understood that, they needed more rebounds and more, guys in the glass and the paint. He talked about, kind of challenging the team a little bit, challenging the guards by getting more rebounds.
Yeah.
We didn't really see that against Ohio State. They were still minus 14 on the glass. So it'll be interesting to see if they do any better on against Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think the one thing that really bothers me, and I think it's getting obvious that I keep asking about it, what is up with Geo Baker? What is going on here? Minus done in the plus minus, he had the lowest one, or I guess the highest technically. He had a minus 23 when he was on the court. I don't know what's going on with him. He seems to be having like a pretty bad slump, or I guess he's kind of went up and down since his return from injury. But I don't know if it's still bothering him. But even on the defensive end, he kind of just looks a little bit lost at times, and it's kind of scary when your starting point guard is lost. But
Yeah, he seems like a little step slow on defensive end on
Yeah.
defensive end.
that's why this week off is going to benefit them a lot. I think
Yeah,
they're going to
no
make
doubt.
try to get healthy. I don't know how much they're going to practice yet. I don't think we've talked to anyone yet, but I'm sure we'll get Pikel at least once for a presser before Wisconsin this weekend or Friday, whatever.
Friday, yeah.
After that, what else we got here? Any potential? We kind of answered the quarterback thing. There's nothing going on really right now. Ton of interesting guys. Nothing concrete yet. Anytime we do have something concrete, of course, it's always on the round table. I'm going to throw a little plug in there. If you guys haven't signed up yet, 30-day free trial, TKR 30 promo code. Sign up today. You get a month free. You get a whole, basically $10 free of checking out the site. See if you like it. If you like it, obviously stay on board. Leave some compliments if you can. But yeah, other than that, let's see. Hint on the board. Expect the entire staff back. How unusual is that? Usually, I would say it's pretty unusual for the entire football staff to be back. Given the situation, I think with COVID, and I actually thought a lot of teams weren't going to fire coaches, but you still see it happening regardless. I think given that situation, that it's not too surprising. Plus, this is what happens when you get coaches that you have relationships with. I think every single coach on staff either has some connection to Rutgers or some connection to Shiano or some connection to New Jersey in general. And I think that definitely helps with the coaching staff staying intact right now. I don't know if you have anything else on that.
No, you kind of hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah. Stacy Good 73 says need to play a bigger lineup sometimes. Play Ron more at small forward. It's tough. There's no other person that could play that 4.
Yeah.
I mean, could you put Cliff and Miles down low at the same time when Cliff's healthy? Yeah, of course. But you are limiting your offense so much with that. I don't think either of them has any type of offensive game outside of that that half circle mark. I'd say like the block almost too. And the fact, and you can argue that Cliff doesn't even really have a post game yet. So I mean, it strangles your offense so much to just do that. And having Ron at that 4 spot right now, I know it's kind of positionless basketball at this point. I think he fits pretty fine there. He fits well. He's not going to get a ton of rebounds there, but he can drag the other big man out of the paint because he's such a threat from deep. Even Ron has some dribble moves from out there too, so you'll probably see him cross up someone here and there. But let's see.
Yeah,
what else
but
we got.
I understand your question though, because it's about getting more size in there for rebounds.
Yeah.
I know Rutgers is a very perimeter oriented team right now. I think other teams are starting to figure them out.
Yeah, it's just kind of live and die by the 3, or I should say live and die by Ron's 3. But yeah, it's a tough one, and especially when you don't have that option at the 4. I think we kind of thought Palmquist would develop into that option, and he just hasn't. And as far as anyone else, I guess Malat Mag, but he's not even getting minutes now for some. It seems like he might be in the doghouse at this point.
I know he was a little banged up.
Yeah, that could be an injury. Injuries again could be an issue. We don't
Yeah.
know for sure. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I just
Yeah, because I mean, I know Pikel has talked about wanting him to come back, and if he's healthy, he would play. So
yeah.
I think there must be something up
I
with that.
know it's a lot of people hate the idea of Ron because Ron at the four because he's just 6'6", but like look at
Mhm.
Draymond Green, and I hate to compare the two because they're not the same player, but Draymond Green's 6'6", and he's weighs less than Ron, I think. So I mean, I don't know. It's a tough situation there. I think Ron's there fine at the four. Chris, you're getting criticized in the chat. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, my bad, my guy.
But
Don't say
yeah,
that.
Ron. I think Ron at the four will be fine. I think it's just a matter of someone else starting to score more, and then it'll open up for Ron from deep. It'll open up for Gio. There's some shots they've been taking, and it's just like, what are you doing? I know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I
And
don't
it
know.
seems like every time they drive, like they just keep getting stuffed. I know Pikel
Yeah,
mentioned the other day, he feels like the team is driving and trying to create fouls instead of trying to score.
yeah,
Maybe that's true, maybe not, but it seems like everything is getting stuffed in the paint.
yeah. It doesn't help that they're not getting many
And
foul
they're
calls, regardless.
missing they miss they're converting only like 50% around there of their layups.
Yeah, that's the 50% from the layups is not good. 50% from the free throw line is
Hmm.
atrocious.
Yeah, and that's why they're not winning. There's a combination of a lot of things right now.
25% from three against Ohio State. You're not going to
Mhm.
win games like this. Like
Yeah.
Harper 1 of 4, Geo 0 of 5, Young 1 of 3, Reber 0 of 1, McConnell 2. McConnell actually had a pretty good game.
Yes, he did.
Um, the, the
I
the
wrote
four
about him.
fouls though. I mean he'll learn better, but yeah, 23 minutes. He actually had a very good game.
Hmm.
Looking back at it. What else we got here? What's up with Cliff? Kind of just answered that a little bit. I don't know if you saw. Nothing new. We know that he was running in practice the other day. They got a week off. I would expect him to come back, but I'm not going to say for certain. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that for now. Let's see. Is the Rockin Center available yet for student athletes? I don't think so. I'm not actually 100% sure. I don't even think it's done yet, to be honest.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be officially done like probably summertime, I think it was, right? Summer 2021, fall 2021,
Hmm.
that area. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting thing because it's going to take everybody out of that Hale Center pretty much, except for the football team. I'm intrigued to see what the football team does with all the extra space they have now. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, obviously, Shiano wants his football palace, as some of us call it, and that's going to get done sometime after, you would think.
Yeah,
Um,
and the whole pandemic kind of slowed down the process of everything too.
and that definitely threw a lot of things for a loop, and I think that's why we haven't seen even like an artist rendering of Shiano's football kingdom, palace, whatever you want to, castle.
Right.
Castle would be a good one,
In
actually.
Castle, there you go.
Yeah, there. Keep the medieval references going. I love it. Let's see what else. Geo seems hurt. The whole team looks lost out there. Yeah, like I don't know if Geo's hurt or not. It might be. I mean, I don't. Maybe he rushed himself back from injury, but like
Hmm.
his stats are just not there, and it's really concerning lately, actually. Considering this was what your number one leading scorer last year, I think it was. I don't
Right.
know. Yeah, I think he was number one, right?
Hmm. I think
Ron
yeah,
was.
around there. Maybe
Yeah.
Ron was.
So Ron had 12. Geo averaged 10 this
They're
year.
about they're all bunched up.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, the offense has taken a huge leap this year, and even though there's been some struggles lately, you still have Harper, Young, Mathis, all over 45% from the field, all shooting in the 40s from three, and then Gio's been an issue. He's averaging 8.8, 8 games, 36%, 22 from three.
Hmm.
I know the 0 of 5 recently doesn't help that, but something's got to give at some point. Um, yeah, I don't know if adding Cliff's going to help, of course, but it's not going to help your offensive struggles that have been happening lately. So, or I don't know. I'm not very confident in this Wisconsin game. I think the Penn State game would have been nice to have just because they're not that good of a team, and I know the week off is going to help clearly, but Penn State's also on a 3-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get the opportunity to play them would have helped a ton, in my opinion. You probably could have, not steamrolled, but like you probably could have beat them pretty easily, and it would have got your
Right.
confidence up. I think that's another big factor. It's just confidence at this point. Once you get in that little slump as a team, it's hard to get yourselves out of it. And like you could kind of see the emotions on guys when they miss shots. Look at just gonna use Miles as an example. Miles missed a layup the other day, and he just walks down the court with his head down. Someone's got to be there to pick each other up, but when everyone's struggling, it's just a mindset game too, and that leads to losing streaks like we've seen. That leads to poor shooting or poor offensive output, and then even poor free throws. I think the free throws at this point are just mentally.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's mental.
Just mentally exhausting. It's hard to I know there's no one there technically to distract you, but it's just a mental game at this point.
Mm-hmm.
See what else we got. I just wanted to let you guys know you do a great job keeping the fans informed. Appreciate that, Stacy Good 73. If you guys haven't already, there's a little subscribe button somewhere down there. I don't know where. Don't forget to hit that. Check out the website. Free 30-day trial. TKR 30 promo code. Like the video. Retweet us on Twitter, Facebook, etc. Blah blah blah. Do all that stuff. Share this. We're gonna try to do this again soon. Got another question, actually. Is the loss of Yeboah a bigger deal than thought? And loss of Yeboah and Shaq Carter.
Yeah, I'll take this first.
Yeah, you can go for it.
I really liked Yeboah last year. I thought he was very mature, really good pickup as a grad transfer. Obviously, he had connections with Pico coming from Stony Brook.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great 3-point shooter. He was good at taking charges and whatnot. He was good defensively. He was a good free throw shooter. So I think, and obviously he played the 3, which allowed other guys to kind of fit in their spot. He had, his role was perfect for him. Shaq Carter was a good backup. Obviously he also started at times too late in the year for Miles at center. He was just a veteran who could play. And I think without a true backup center, another veteran, big man, I think it's hurting Rutgers right now, obviously and then also with Cliff being out, it's also huge.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit. I think having, and start with Shaq Carter. I think having Shaq Carter would have just been helpful just because you get another big. He wasn't the best big in the world for Rutgers. He was average. But just having another body there that I guess kind of like is experienced and knows what he's doing. I think Reber will get to that point eventually. I know he's still kind of learning the game a little bit and adjusting to the speed of it. And you noticed that. He looked very good versus Iowa, and then he struggled versus there was a game in between that I can't think about. Purdue. And then it didn't look like he did too well against Ohio State either.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, I'm going to bring that up real quick. It's interesting. Ohio State doesn't have a center, technically. They just have a bunch of 4s, and they make it work.
Yeah,
and I think
Liddell, I was really very impressed with EJ Liddell there.
Yeah, he looked really good offensively too. I find that intriguing. So for all the people claiming that Rutgers needs another big, I guess you could technically use another one. But I think as long as Cliff is healthy, they'll be fine. Losing Shaq Carter hurts. Yeboah is a big loss for the sole fact that it's another 3-point threat that people have to account for.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, that too.
And the fact that they don't have that threat, it definitely hurts big time. And I think him this shift, he would have came back one more year. Oh my God, him and Harper would have shot the lights out the gym. But I mean not having fans definitely hurts too. I think people overplay it sometimes, but at the same time, it definitely hurts for home games. I know the rack would have been nuts for that Iowa game. I honestly think the rack's like a 5-point differential, maybe, if not more. I think just
I know coaches in the past have talked about it being like a 10-point.
You could even argue that, but easily.
Yeah.
So, Mike asked, "How many transfers do you see RU landing?" I'm assuming football. 2, 3. We'll go probably around there.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's not many spots left. I know definitely want a quarterback. Definitely want a lineman, interior lineman. After that, maybe take another running back to replace Adams. Maybe I don't even know if you really need another running back, to be honest. I know Salam's kind of like a speedster type, and I know they don't have another power back, quote unquote. But I think Wright Collins could fit that role pretty well. You got to think they technically took 2 in 2020, and Collins and Monangai. So you added 2 right there. You have Pacheco back for another year. That's 3. Young 4. Who am I missing? Salam 5. So I mean, you have 5 different running backs. So do you really need another? No, but if a kid like Tyreek Murphy wants to come to Rutgers, I don't think you could say no to that. 4-star kid, very good. Even a solid pass catcher, big power back.
And he's a bigger back too. Yep.
Yeah. New York City native. I don't even know where else to go. He's a good player. There's a reason he was a 4-star. Put it like that. I don't know. I mean, other than that, there's not really much else you can add via the portal without taking away snaps from someone else. So I don't know. I mean, do you think they add anyone other than offensive line, quarterback, and maybe a running back?
No, I mean that's position by need. Is really what they're going for. They're looking to, shore up the offensive and defensive lines. It's Big Ten. It's big boy football. Obviously, like you touched on, in the beginning of the stream, the program is on the rise. The rebuild is, on its way. But as you saw in a couple of games this year, the teams, we're running the ball all over Rutgers, and you need to shore up the lines. And if you want to compete, you have to have good lines.
All right, real quick, we got a question on Twitter I'm going to answer in a sec. Yeah. But if you guys have any questions at all, ask them in the chat over this way somewhere. I know it's above my head, actually, technically. If you have subscribe, check out the website, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I don't know. We're on it. Just about every social media platform. Just follow us on there. We're going to try to do this a lot more often. Hopefully we can get working on doing some kind of post-game thing that we're going to start soon, hopefully. So the question is, what's your take on what Rob Smith did this year? Gave up a lot of big yardage plays. I'll let you go first on that one if you want.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily Rob Smith's fault, so to speak. That was an issue that's been at Rutgers for a while. There was talked about with under Ash. I think the defense in general took a step up. We saw a lot of players, make more plays. It seems like, at least to me personally. Yeah. Fatukasi was a beast. It's great for Rutgers to getting him back. But in general, they're more aggressive, which I'm a big fan of. So yeah, I think Rob Smith, did a solid job in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think he did too bad. I think there's definitely some big chunk plays where you're like, what the heck just happened? Yeah. But I feel like it's the first year. I know people hate making an argument. Even Shiano said he hates making an argument. They're not his players. Let him get another year under his belt. Let him get another install going. I know the installs we talked about were hard because of Zoom videos and stuff like that. So it's a little more difficult for players to learn it and everything. But you have a solid linebacker core coming back in Fatukasi, who made just about every play the defense had. Tyshawn Fogg's a very good player. I think Maddox Williams will continue to develop as that third linebacker. I think you'll see more Singleton. You'll see more Toure next year. That linebacker core is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. But after that, defensive line, it's kind of the same unit pretty much. They lost Wumfor, it's definitely going to hurt. But I think Myjay out of Temple, the transfer, and will fill in there pretty well. I think Ahanitu actually filled in pretty nicely. The defensive end, Mike Tverdov, had a heck of a year again, and I think he's one more year away from developing into like a superstar defensive end. I think he'll not double. That's a lot. What do you have? 3.5 this year?
Yeah.
Something like, yeah. So I mean, I think actually, you know what? I don't think double's crazy stat to throw out there. I think he'll get like 6 to 7 sacks next year. He'll keep developing. Jim Panagos is back, and I don't care if he was there at practice and he wasn't there at game day, and it definitely plays a factor regardless of what you think. I think having him there another year, he's arguably one of the top talent developers at defensive line in the country. Mm-hmm. He'll have a big year. Who else we have? Who am I missing? Is Lumor, Onyechi, even I think you'll see Ryan Kewer get some significant snaps too. I think he'll make some plays at that defensive end spot.
Jeremy Croma, I know he got hurt, but he flashed a little bit in the first game at least.
He looked pretty productive, like until that injury, but I think he came back late too for a couple snaps.
Yes,
nothing crazy. After that, the cornerbacks are all the same cornerbacks. Malachi Melton's a year older. Avery Young's a year older. Trey Avery's a year older. I still think they could probably use another cornerback via the portal, but I think if you continue to develop guys, I think you might be just fine. You might be fine there. Safety's intriguing. Christian Izzian had a really nice end to the year. I think he had what, 3, 4 interceptions in 3 games,
Yep.
something like
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Najee Jones filled in pretty nicely for Brendan White when he was out. I think he'll get in there for snaps. I think Elijah Clark is going to be phenomenal. I think he's going to fit in very nicely, and he might even be slotted as that other starter right away. But just having extra safety depth and I guess cornerback depth too. Who else was there? Longer beam, Chris Long.
Longer beam. Yeah. Longer beam. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll
Yeah.
all fit in pretty
Larry
nicely.
Stevens played a touch
Larry
at safety a little
Stevens
bit.
actually looked pretty good in his limited snaps, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could. Going back to I completely ignored the question, but Smith didn't do horrible. I think he definitely had his downs, he had his ups, but you also got to think, like I said, it's hard to install your defense the way that everything happened. I think a lot of blame gets put on him for the sole fact that he's had bad stints in his past, and I don't think that helps. But no, I mean, give him another year, see what he does in 2021. And then I think his contract's up after that. So worst comes to worst, you find a new DC. Or if you're Shiano, maybe even take over play calling again. But it seems like for the most part, he's kind of letting his coordinators do their own thing. I'm sure it'll help and stuff, so don't take that out of context. But let's see. Rutgers Al. What's up, Al? Will Art have an honest shot at the QB job? Yeah. I mean, why not? He had a good year. I think he had his ups. He had his downs. He still stares down a single receiver every time, it seems like. But he's got a cannon. When you have that many, when you have the mechanics that Art has, it's hard. He's getting a shot regardless. I just think it's I still think Vedral might be the better quarterback option right now. I do think they still add a quarterback though, and I think if you add a quarterback via the portal, he's not coming in to play backup, in my opinion. The only coach I've ever seen done that was Chris Ash, and I don't know why. But I don't know if you have anything to say about Art.
Yeah, I mean he didn't turn the ball over this year. I know technically he threw a pick and he had some other bad throws, but the pick was called back, and the other ones fell incomplete. But like you said, he has the mechanics. He has the arm strength. He does stare down the receivers. He does, he still does struggle reading defenses and going through his progressions. But I think Gleason's a really good coach, and I think he could. Help him help him. Even Art talked up Gleason and how he's helped him already in the short amount of time. So,
yeah, I think if Gleason can't fix him, I don't know if anyone can at this point. I think we saw some strides. He made some strides this year as developing as a quarterback. He is what he is at this point. I don't know if there's anything you can really do to make him much better, but he just kind of fixed like little things. If he could fix those little things, he could be a very, very good quarterback. But honestly, I still think it's Vedral's job to lose, and I think that I think they bring in a transfer, and I think that transfer is going to start this year. And you got to think, Art's what? Since he redshirted in 2019, he played 2018, redshirted 2019.
Yes.
Redshirt freshman entering this year. This year didn't count. He's a fourth year redshirt freshman?
Redshirt sophomore. Yeah,
redshirt sophomore.
Technically, yeah.
Fourth year redshirt sophomore. So, I mean, he's got plenty of time, technically, if you want to go that route. Let's see what else we got. He's had a pretty good shot at the QB job for going on 3 years. You're not wrong. But it's hard to use those other 2 years considering it's a completely different coaching staff. Stacy Good 73 said, if not Art, what about Evan? We heard some positives about Evan. I think Evan had a pretty good offseason, pretty good season, whatever you want to call it. I know he technically redshirted, but he's developing. I don't know if Evan will be ready this season. I think, Chris, we lost you there for a sec.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
All right. It's weird looking at the empty rack, but yeah, no, you're good.
I got to turn on a light real fast.
No, you're good. I'm thinking of going back to Evan. Evan had a good year. He's developing. He's progressing. Still think he's probably a year away. So I think technically he redshirted last year, but it didn't count. So this year he'll probably redshirt, and I think he'll come in as a third year redshirt freshman. I think it is. Yeah, geez. I think he could come in as a third year redshirt freshman and take the job by the Yeah, I think. What do you think, Evan Simon, third year, take the job over next year,
Yeah, I
2022?
mean, I think I mentioned earlier, he'll have a good shot to, 2022.
Yeah,
Um, you
I don't
know,
see why not.
so we'll see. I mean, I think if, like you said, he has he has mobility. He has a good arm. I mean, obviously the staff kept him for a reason. So I think that they like him. He's smart kid. He's mobile, and he can make all the throws, in my opinion.
Hold on one sec. A bunch of people are asking me how to post on the stream. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why Evan Simon can't be the next quarterback, and I think there's a reason that they wanted to hold on to him. I think he was the first recruit that Gleason visited once he got the job,
Hmm.
and I know they wanted to secure it. I know quarterback recruiting usually ends pretty early, so that was definitely gonna be hard to even add another quarterback if they wanted to. But it sounded like from everything we know, Gleason likes the kid a lot. He has a mobility factor. I think he ran for like 600 yards his senior year of high school.
Hmm.
On top of that, he's also a pretty decent thrower. He might not have a cannon like Art does, but it seems like he's pretty accurate. He could throw on the run. Overall, this is just based on his high school tape since we haven't really seen practices at all. And by
At
we
all, yeah,
haven't, I mean
yeah.
we literally have not seen a single
Hmm.
practice yet. But yeah, I don't see why not. I think Evan Simon 2022. We can mark that down right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
he threw for, over 2,500 yards every, his last three seasons. As a senior, he had 25 touchdowns passing as a senior.
mhm.
He also ran for, 930. I'm not sure based on his Rutgers bio if that was just as a senior. But if, that's getting into like, Lamar Jackson type numbers. I'm not saying it was Lamar
Nah.
Jackson at all, but I'm saying in terms of like rushing yardage.
I didn't. Speaking of Lamar, I didn't think Lamar was having that good a year, and then yesterday I was like, oh, he looks good again. The Ravens are a
Yeah.
scary team.
I had the
Um,
Titans in that one.
yeah, so did I. I think I had Titans. What was it? 2.5, three, whatever it was.
Yeah, 3.5, I
Three and a
think.
half. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Where were the tight ends this year? Howard asked, what happened to Jonathan Lewis? I know we kind of went over the tight ends for a quick recap. They haven't been used. And Gleason kind of uses that nub tight end package where they're mostly blockers, it seems. Um, it's the quickest recap I could think of it. And it just seemed like they were more used as blockers. And I think it paid off a little bit. I think the pass blocking as a whole looked better. There were times where I think it was the last game of the season where I think Alimo or Haskins
Mm-hmm.
missed a block completely, whether he just didn't see the defender or whatever. But yeah, they have to do a better job there. I think if you're going to use them strictly as blockers, someone's got to step up. I know either play Brandon Myers more or Konopka or any other big body that can block. Someone you asked about Jonathan Lewis. He had arguably the worst injury in sports in the
Mm-hmm.
Achilles tear.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to recover from. We were told he's 100%, but if he's not 100%, then he isn't. I assume he'd be playing if he was at 100%. I was told he's the best blocker in the room. So again, if you're gonna use these blockers, you got to throw someone out there. But that's the best ability I can answer that question.
Yeah,
To.
I mean,
I
and
really can't say much
and
more.
you saw the receivers step up, this season too. So
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Let's see what else we got. Got any questions on Twitter? Yeah, as always, guys, if you haven't seen it already, subscribe down below somewhere. Enter a question in the chat above me. I think it's to my left too, right. I don't know. I'm still learning this. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna try to do this a lot more often. I think we're about an hour in. We'll probably cut it
yeah, I
off
think it's
like
about an hour. Yeah.
hour 15. Big game today. We got Kyle Flood's Alabama Roll Tide versus Ohio State. Ryan Day, Justin Fields. What are you thinking?
I think I gotta go with I think I gotta roll tide, so to speak, in this one. Justin Fields, showed his toughness the other day,
Mhm.
last week, whatever. Again,
Yeah.
getting hit and absolutely dominating after that. I think it'll be a good game. So I'm glad. We'll see. I think I'm definitely still gonna go Alabama in this one.
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough to vote against a team that has arguably two of the top three receivers in the draft,
Right.
two of the top three Heisman candidates, in Mac Jones and Devonta Smith, who I voted for. Don't mean to brag, but I voted for him.
Mr. Heisman vote over
Yeah,
here.
I know, right? Nah, he definitely deserved it. The kid's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Kind of hope the Giants take a look at him, to be honest. I just don't know if he'll last till 11.
Hmm.
I'm assuming he's probably gonna go like top 5, top 10. It depends on, I guess, where Jamar Chase goes. But whatever. Anyway, back to the
Hmm.
game. It's impossible to bet against this Alabama team. As long as I think we've been alive, Alabama's been at the forefront of college football, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. I think Bryce Young is my early favorite for the Heisman. I think he's going to be very, very good. And I don't know. Alabama's going to win. They're going to win by a lot, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know if Ohio State can stop them. I think you'll see some trickery by Ryan Day tonight because you got to scheme something up to get past Pat Surtain, the number one corner in the draft this year. I think he's number one. I'm not 100%
Hmm.
sure on that. But that again, look, number one corner in the draft, you can argue number one, number two receiver in Smith, number three receiver in Waddle, number what, 4 or 5 quarterback in the draft in Mac Jones.
Hmm.
Najee Harris might be the top running back in the country. Either him or the Clemson one,
Hmm.
Etienne, however you
Hmm.
say it.
That's the end. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's hard to bet against a team that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first rounders, maybe 4, whatever. And on top of that, they have some massive, massive offensive linemen. I told you this already. I went down there last year.
Hmm.
My dad's
Hmm.
a big Alabama fan. I went down and checked out a game. Got to go on the sidelines. Got to see like the offensive line and everything, and it's just looking at their offensive line compared to like I don't know, just to say Rutgers for example. Oh my God, massive human beings. It's insane to see the difference, and I think that just goes to show you how far like Rutgers still has to go. I know they're not
Yeah,
going to
no
compete.
doubt.
They're not going to compete with Bama, of course, but it's just insane to see the size, and I think that's what Grace Young was trying to do. You saw him bringing some hog mollies, if you want to call him that. He brought in Tunde Fadakasi, who's huge. Holland Pierce, who I think is actually going to be on scholarship eventually, who's what 6'7", 340, something
Right.
like
Yep.
that. Like,
Something like that.
oh
Yep.
my God!
Hey,
Like,
he was on the two deep surprisingly
yeah,
already.
that's
So.
what I'm saying. He took over that backup left tackle spot. I think adding him, adding Fadukasi. I think you're seeing it this year too a little bit. You get those big tall guys. You just throw some weight on them. Look at Kevin Toth. I think Kevin Toth's 6'7". Um, who else did they have? I'm trying to think. There's another big guy they had. Oh, they added.
Needham. Needham.
Needham's like what 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think he wants to get bigger up front, and I obviously love the idea, especially in the Big Ten,
Mhm.
where you need big bodies up front to block. And we kind of saw they didn't do it this year with the run blocking, but I think they'll be much better next year. We got another question. Do we beat all non-conference teams in football next season? I don't even know what the schedule looks like. I know it's
So I
Temple.
just pulled it up real quick. So they're at they played Temple, Syracuse, and Delaware, and in the non-conference.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Yes.
I'll say yes as well.
I don't think Syracuse is that good. I think Temple's gonna be a bigger test than Syracuse will be, to be
Mhm.
honest. I
And
mean,
and who knows if that schedule's even gonna stick? You know what I mean?
yeah, I know
We
you
saw
wrote about
Rutgers
it.
had like 4. Rutgers had like 3 schedules this year. So.
Yeah, Jesus. I know. I think you wrote about it this week, last week, whatever it was, about
Mhm.
Shiano talking about. He said they're not sure. He's going to talk to Hobbs. He's going to figure out what they're doing for 2021.
Yep.
I think Temple at home should be tough. Ideally, you have fans. You can kind of. I don't know. I don't mind playing Temple. I feel like it's kind of like a little, not a rivalry, but I guess you could call it that.
Mhm.
They had like a purge going on in this transfer portal this year. I think they lost like 10 to 12 people already. Which
Yeah.
is
I mean, obviously Rutgers
nutty.
added 2, right? 2.
Yeah, I say it different every single time. Nagugu. I don't know
Mhm.
how to say it. Dave, I'm sorry. I apologize. And then Finey Myj, aka
Mhm.
I-95. as you call him.
I-95. I have to
You got to patent that or
I
something.
gotta patent that, TM it, whatever, man. I
Yeah.
gotta do
Make
something.
some T-shirts or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think they could beat Temple. Temple's intriguing though for the sole fact that they brought in who's the quarterback they brought in from Georgia. Let me pull up the transfer portal real quick. Yeah, they brought in a quarterback from Georgia. I think they brought in a running back. They brought in Iverson Clement.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, very solid player. I like Iverson. Straight out of South Jersey.
And the quarterback was DeJuan Mathis.
Yes, he's a little bit smaller, I think, though, right? Hold on. Let's see. Actually,
This
he's tall.
doesn't
Oh my God,
say.
huge. Never mind. I
Yeah.
don't know who I'm thinking about. He's 6'6", 205, 90, 4-star. Was he a 4-star with?
Yeah, he went to Georgia, so I wouldn't put it past him. Wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, number 125 recruit in the country for the class of 2019. That's huge.
That's big for them.
That's
No
a big
doubt.
get for them. I know they lost Russo to Michigan State, which
Michigan State.
I don't get that one at all, but whatever. They actually added 2 running backs. They added Iverson Clement and Ravon Bonner, but they lost Raymond Davis to the SEC. Ahmad Anderson, solid possession receiver, not bad. They lost 3 offensive linemen. I know Pikazi was pretty good. I know he had a couple Power 5s after him, and then he went to Colorado State with Adazio. David Nogagu. They lost a couple defensive linemen. They added Lance Toure. I forgot about that.
True.
I like Lance a lot.
Hey, I mean, I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah,
So.
I think it's I think Rutgers wins pretty handedly, but I still think it's going to be a bigger game or closer game than people think. Who else we have here? How's Delaware? I don't even know, to be honest.
I'll
Who's
be
their head
honest. I'll be the
coach?
first one to say I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out their team real quick. Hold on. Delaware football. Let's see what they did this year. Oh, no, did they even play in FCS? They might have postponed.
Oh, you know what? They're playing. They're playing in March.
Spring. Yeah, I like that actually.
They play the first game against Elijah Barnwell in Maine.
There you go. Shout out Piscataway. But the year before that, 5-7. They only lost to Pitt by 3 in 2019. Not a bad team.
Yeah, they usually have a solid program though.
Yeah, I mean, let's see why they won't be decent. I just don't see them competing with Rutgers again.
Right.
When you have these big guys up front in the Big Ten compared to FCS Delaware, I think you're gonna run them over pretty easily. I'd expect a big game out of Pacheco or one of the running backs. Just kind of run the ball, just get out of there, be safe. You don't even want to make this close because you make it close, the national media is going to jump all over you, and you don't want to hear it. Who's the other one? Syracuse? Syracuse had a bad year, didn't they?
Yes, Syracuse, yep.
What'd they do this year? They went like 1 in something or 2 in something?
I know that. I remember
1-10.
they hung with Clemson for a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like 47-21 loss after that, though. So, I mean, they weren't.
I think Ugalele was quarterback then. I could be wrong.
You might be right.
Oh no, it was Lawrence. My bad.
It was Lawrence, yeah. It doesn't seem like they were really close in any of their games. It seems like they're, what is this, 25-point loss, 11-point loss, 14-point loss, 17-point loss, 26-point loss. They're not a good team. They are not a good team at all. Most competitive game, I guess, was NC State. No, they lost to Boston College by 3. But, again, is Boston College that good? Yeah, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Delaware's good, and I don't think Syracuse is good, and I really think Temple might be the best out of conference opponent next year. And I don't think there's an argument for that really either. But let's see. Shiano will develop Big Ten talent on offense, defensive lines with Jay Butler and stuff. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Jay Butler is a legend around these parts, I guess. At this point, he's I can't wait to see like the new roster comes out in spring. Hopefully, just see who put on muscle, who put on weight. And let's see what else we got. Is Cliff playing against Wisconsin? We kind of answered that one already a little bit. He was running around at practice the other day. He's with a week off. You would think he's playing, right?
Yeah, I mean, at first, we weren't sure exactly how hurt he was, but he's obviously been out for a while. So, I mean, I'm not sure yet either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming if he's running around at practice on Friday. The next Friday he's going to play.
I know it was non-contact practice also.
Oh, someone just brought up Alfonso just brought up a good point. This is at the Carrier Dome, not that.
Yes,
I guess
it is at Syracuse.
Shouldn't matter that much. I think they brought in a transfer too, didn't they?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I went to a Rutgers Syracuse game. It was maybe like 10 years ago. And they had Savage and Sanu, and I thought Rutgers was going to steamroll him, and Syracuse pulled the upset. So,
yeah, they added a kid from where's he from? Mississippi State, former dual threat quarterback, leaving the SEC for Syracuse. I don't know. That's a weird weird trip from North Carolina to Mississippi to Syracuse.
Yep.
I don't think people realize like Syracuse is like you're in Canada almost.
Yeah, it's far up there. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but you are right there. Like former 4-star, 5.8, top 7, number 7 quarterback in his class. I don't know much about him, but he had some nice offers. Florida, Louisville, Penn State, Syracuse. I mean, we'll see what happens to him. I don't know how much of an impact he'll make, but he doesn't seem like he's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so here's something interesting. I wonder if he left because of this. I don't know the backstory behind it. Maybe one of you guys can know or answer it in the chat for me. Schrader moved to wide receiver when KJ Costello took over at Mississippi State. But Mike Leach is just as unpredictable. Yeah, no, I know Mike Leach is unpredictable. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, is he going to make a difference for them? If you're 1-10, you're 1-10. There's more than just your quarterback, obviously. And again, these games that they lost are not close. They are all pretty bad. They lost to Liberty by 17. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Hugh Freeze, great coach. But even like Rutgers beat Liberty last year, right?
Yes, they had a much different team. But yeah,
even Chris Ash beat Liberty.
Chris Ash beat Liberty.
Yeah, so let's put it like that. Chris Ash beat Liberty, and you're going to tell me that this Syracuse team has a quarterback and they're better? No. A quarterback that's actually a wide receiver?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that should be a pretty easy game. I think in the Carrier Dome, I don't care where the game's at. I think it's still going to be a win. Let's see. Devin just asked, did Rutgers ever offer JG, or did he pick Washington State over RU? No, JG never got an Rutgers offer. They didn't really show much interest. He didn't pick Washington State over Rutgers. If he had the option to go to Rutgers, I'm assuming I shouldn't even assume he definitely probably would.
Yeah, he definitely would.
Hometown team, high school head coach. Dad played for Rutgers. I mean, if they would have shown interest, I think there's a very good chance he would have ended up there. One of the wide receivers transferred to Kent State, and one of their tight ends is transferring, but to be determined. So, all right, so Syracuse lost a couple dudes so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Syracuse purge with the transfer portal, the Temple purge with the transfer portal. I can't see how Rutgers isn't, 3-0 entering, who was that first game against? Michigan?
Michigan in Ann Arbor.
See, if that game was home, I'd be a little more confident in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the heck Jim Harbaugh's doing. He's leaving, he's going, he's staying now. He's hiring a new DC the other day. I don't know what they're going to do. I think you should be 3-0 heading into Michigan. Hopefully that momentum kind of helps you a little bit. And I think after this year, Michigan, we know Michigan's not that good. I think Harbaugh's on his last leg. That's why I don't get why they re-signed him.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I don't know. If I was him,
I mean, I was shocked and not shocked because it's Harbaugh and, he's, but at the same time, there has been the results that are like up to par in Michigan standards,
Yeah, my biggest question is, and I know Rivals put it up today or yesterday, and then my buddy is a big Michigan fan. Is there a better option than Harbaugh? Really?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I know like he's been struggling, but if you're yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. Like, I get it. He's not beating Ohio State. Whatever. He's losing some games he should be winning. Yes, but alum, arguably the biggest name you could get right now. Like, I guess you could go after Luke Fickell if you're Michigan, but I don't see him. Would he betray his loyalties to Ohio State and kind of?
Exactly.
Maybe, but he also just turned down a bunch of offers last year, and I'm sure he's probably turned on a couple this year already. Luke Fickell's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he really wanted that Michigan State job, though. I know he turned him down, but I don't know what the heck's going on over there with that one, too. But Alfonso asked, didn't Rutgers pick up David Nagut? I cannot say his name. Yeah, they picked up him, and they picked up MyJ. I think we said it before, Temple lost, 12, maybe more players in the portal. I don't keep track of it as much as I probably should, but whatever. Let's see what else we got here. I think we covered everything. Football, basketball, championship game. Any last minute questions, guys? We're gonna try to wrap this up. This has been going on for a while. Damn.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half now.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's
No,
fun doing
not
this
at all.
stuff. Top recruit in New Jersey from the 2022 class. I know you're not big on the recruiting scene, but you got any thoughts on that one?
I don't.
Oh, you're good.
I don't know if you want to dabble in that one.
Oh yeah, it's easily Keon Saab, the kid out
Mm-hmm.
of I not even at Glassboro anymore. Where is he at? He's at Williamstown, I think it is.
Williamstown, I believe, right?
I think he transferred to
right?
Williamstown this past season. I don't even know where to begin on him. He's a phenomenal athlete. He could basically do it all. He's already like every bit of a legit 6'2", 6'3". Last time I saw him, he was like in 190 range, so he needed to add some weight. But it looks, based off like photos and videos I've seen, it looks like he added that weight. Very good player. Going to be extremely tough to keep him home. The only reason I would say Rutgers has has a shot in the slightest right now is because of Fran Brown and his connections to South Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can argue Fran might be the best South Jersey recruiter. I think Elijah Robinson from Texas A&M is right there also. Those two are going to be a pain in the neck for each other over the next couple years. Between even, I guess Jahad Campbell's gone now, so I don't consider him South Jersey anymore. But Kenny Fletcher, South Jersey defensive end. Yeah, no, it's definitely Keon Saab. Keon Saab is the number one kid in this class. After that, the argument, it's very tough. You could probably interchange anyone from 2 to 7, 2 to 8. Jahad Campbell was up there. He transferred to IMG for his senior year. Jacob Allen at Hunt School is best offensive lineman in the class. Amari Clark's committed to Maryland. He's cousins with Elijah Clark. Kenny Fletcher, just mentioned, out of Delaware. Jaden Gould. Jaden Gould just got 2 big offers in Oklahoma and Clemson. And right now we have him as the number 6 kid in the state. So, I mean, it just goes to show you that the top half of this 2022 class is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, man, I keep looking at this. This is a very good New Jersey class. Justin Jenkins out of Irvington. Davison Igbinason, the younger brother of Desmond Igbinason, out of Union. I like Rutgers' chances there. Nair Graham, Maryland. Corey Lyde out of DePaul, very good corner. I think Rutgers actually should be showing more interest in him. I don't know if they are or not. I haven't really talked to him lately. He's nice, lengthy corner. Kier Price out of DePaul, very good. Steve Angeli, going to be a tough one to land too. He's a top quarterback in the country. I'd be shocked if he didn't go to Notre Dame though. Yeah, I mean, I think I covered basically most of them.
Yeah. One thing, I don't really do much recruiting as you do, as you help out with, but I do like Price. I remember I saw Price play against Donovan Catholic last year in the playoff game.
Yeah,
I guess it was 2 years ago now, 2019.
very good player.
But yeah, he was a good player. He dominated. It was really cold that game, and he was in the backfield all day.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Real quick, if you guys haven't already, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button below me. Submit something in the chat above me. What do we got? Like a couple minute left, maybe, minute or two, and then we'll end it.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So where's K-Ron Adams projected to go? We kind of mentioned it before. Jackson State showed a lot of interest early on. I don't know if they still are. Usually when kids go in the portal, kind of it's just like, all right, they're not coming back, so we don't have to pay attention to it. Of course, we'll help out the other sites, like the other Power 5 sites and I guess even the Group of 5 sites. And if we know something, we'll obviously tell them. But Buffalo is interested. I think that's it. That's really it, right now? That's all I
Yeah, we
mentioned.
talked about Buffalo before.
Yeah. Where do you think Taiwan Malone's going? South. He's going south. He's going to play baseball. I like him as a power hitter, first baseman. I think the SEC is perfect fit. Where? Right now, I like Ole Miss a lot. Marquise Watson, former Rutgers grad assistant, took over as a D-line coach for Ole Miss during their bowl game. I think he's going to stay there, and I think he's the next big New Jersey recruiter. That will be elsewhere. That will be a pain in the neck for Rutgers for a couple years from now. Yeah, I'm going to go Ole Miss right now. I don't think there's any other question. If Rutgers gets 5 or 6 out of the top 20, and Shiano, if you can land 5 or 6 of the top 20 year in and year out, you're going to always pluck kids from the Midwest. You're going to pluck the Florida kids. Shiano's known for it.
Yeah.
I think they had 3, 4 this class.
And there's even Pennsylvania, Delaware.
Delaware. New York's now up on the rise.
Illinois, and they got a couple guys from there.
Rashad Rochelle from Illinois. Ryan Keeler, duh. I think that's going to be an interesting one. I'm intrigued to see if they keep Rashad Rochelle. I know Illinois just offered. They got Brett Bulimia over there. Hometown school. I can understand the vibe of like how it's hard to turn down and stuff. Not every kid's going to understand that. Not every kid's going to want to stay home, but I think Bulimia is going to have them in the right direction. They just hired Terrence Jameson. The only reason I'm familiar with that name is because he was a rumored target under Chris Ash for D-line coach. He worked with Ash, Wisconsin, maybe? Forget what it was. But very good coach. Why is Mike Locksley in Maryland such a good recruiter? I think he was a good recruiter even before he went to Maryland. Mike Locksley's just been known as a very good recruiter. He's just one of those coaches, and on top of that, you add a couple good assistants that Maryland has. I can't remember top of my head. I think they have Henry Baker, don't they?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Maryland's always been pretty good,
Yeah,
and I think it. Oh, go on. You're good. You got anything for that or no?
No. I see one more question about Kyrie Banton, linebacker. I think he's gonna be a stud. I think he could, get some playing time early. He could go sideline to sideline and just hit people. I think the staff obviously is gonna likes him now. I think he's gonna love him once he gets to Rutgers.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the Mike Locksley thing real quick.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing with Locks and him being so successful at Maryland has a lot to do with the fact that DMV area is so like big on state pride, especially Maryland. Maryland loves their flag. Maryland people just love their state in general.
Right.
And I think growing up like that, it just definitely helps. And like Stacey Good just mentioned, Locksley is from the DMV. Having a coach from that area definitely helps. And I think that's why you're seeing New Jersey kids starting to come to Rutgers again. But I think that Maryland pride, that state pride that people just kind of grow up with, it's so helpful when it comes to recruiting. What was the next one? Kyrie Banton. Kyrie Banton's going to be disgustingly good. I hate comparing any of the recruits to good players because in case they don't work out, I look stupid. So I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do it with this one. I think he has Kasheem Green type success at Rutgers. I think he's going to be a very good tackler, sideline to sideline guy. He's quick. He's quicker than you think for his size. West Side does a really good job of preparing these dudes. And shout out to Coach West and Coach London. Those guys have that West Side program on the up and up. They have a very good quarterback this year, last year, Devon Shepard. They had Kyrie Banton. They had Shaquan Loyal. They got Corey Walker, and they got a bunch of dudes at that program, and they're on the up and up right there. That's gonna be one to watch. Does this basketball team have what it takes to go to the dance? I'll let you jump on that one first.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? They were ranked, what was it, 11th at one point. Obviously they're kind of, in a down spiral right now. Jacob Young even said they're in a slump, but he says they'll be good. This team could, they could play defense when they want to. It's just, they have to be able to rebound. They have to play defense now. They have to make free throws. They have to make their layups. I think they're tired, but once they get healthy, even Caleb McConnell said the other day, once they start playing harder, nobody can stop them. And I believe them. When they're at their best, under Peichel, they're gritty, they're tough, they get the rebounds, they do all the things I just mentioned, except maybe shoot, but that's another story.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think this team's good. They were ranked for a reason. They were winning games, with no fans. So, yeah.
They're making the dance. I don't care what anyone says.
And the Big Ten is absolutely loaded, so you can't really fret about a loss too much.
They're easily one of the top 68 teams still. I don't care what anyone says. There's even like projections. I think they had them as a 7 seed today, Fox Sports or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. They're still a very good team. It's just they're having their struggles, and it's a slump. It happens. It's definitely going to happen. I think you'd probably rather it happen now than later in the season.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, I mean, get through the slump, get Amaruyi back, get everyone healthy, get this whole week off, nice little break, get rejuvenated. If you can beat Wisconsin, then it's going to be up and up from there, and everyone's going to be like, oh, Rutgers is back. That was quick. All they needed was a quick break. They needed some health. They needed rest.
And they've beaten Wisconsin. They've had success against Wisconsin at home. Yeah. In the past. I know that was with fans, and but
this just popped up on my timeline. Ugh. Wait, hold on, see if it works. No, I can't do it. Andy Boo, linebacker coach, Illinois. This man is
Ooh.
back in the Big Ten again. I don't know how he keeps getting jobs.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. He ran arguably the worst defense in recent history at Rutgers. And somehow he went from Arizona, and now he's back in Illinois. He doesn't recruit, or if he does, he doesn't do it well. No offense. Sorry, Andy Boo, but truth hurts. Yeah, I don't know how this man keeps getting jobs. He got fired midway through his tenure, midway through the season, I think. He lost play calling duties at Maryland.
Yes.
Lost play calling duties at Rutgers under Ash.
Yes.
Then he went to Arizona for years, the outside linebackers coach, and now Illinois is like, hey, you know what? This guy's good. Let's pay him money. Like, what? All right, so as you guys know, if Andy Boo is in Illinois, you guys Rutgers should be able to run it right up the gut, no problems. So I'm sorry for all the hate, Andy Boo, but man, just retire.
Was it and they're at Illinois next year?
Yeah. So I mean, if this stays the way it is, he's gone. They're done. Bulimia taking an L real quick. What are your thoughts about Duke this year? I'm assuming you mean Duke-Core? Because Duke basketball is awful this year. I love it. I think it's cool that all the Blue Bloods are like average to below average, actually. But if we're talking about Mamadou Duke-Core, I think he is what he is. He's what, 5th-year player, 4-year player?
Yeah, like he's redshirt sophomore or junior.
Oh, really? I thought he was a senior. Damn.
No, he's younger. Well, so to speak.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. I don't know why I'm messing that up.
Plus this year.
I know because he redshirted like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was.
This year doesn't count either, so I mean,
yes.
Whatever. He's talking about Duke basketball. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to Duke basketball.
Yeah.
I know they have a couple wins. I think their only ACC wins are against like bad ACC teams. Wake Forest, Boston College, Notre Dame. Then you got a nice 15-point loss to Illinois, a nice 6-point loss to Michigan State. So, I mean, Duke against the Big Ten, not good. Duke against the bottom tier ACC teams, good, I guess. A 1-point win against Boston College. Good for you, Coach K. I'm kind of getting to be a jerk a little bit on this show. It is what it is, I guess. Great live show, guys. Is Geo Baker?
Thank you.
Or is Geo Baker? Oh man, sorry, Urban Outdoors, but that wording that hurt my head a little bit. Geo Baker. I'm assuming he's injured. There's no way he's playing this bad, and something's wrong. I don't know if it's injury or like we talked about before, mental. The mental game. It's just it takes its toll on you. Once you start struggling, that's pretty much it. It's hard to get out of those slumps. Once you get out of them, you're good to go. It's just once you're in those slumps, it's just so hard to dig yourself out of it. Especially like after what do you do? 0 for 5 from 3, I said last game.
Mm-hmm.
You go 0 for 5. If you have a slow start against Wisconsin, I could see it just taking its toll on him, and I think he could struggle again. However, on the flip side, you get a couple good shots, couple shots to go in, and it's like, confidence. There we go. Let's take him to the woodshed real quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had a high ankle sprain, and usually that takes a long time to heal. Mm-hmm. And I know it was like a long layoff, but it was a little quick. Maybe you could say for that injury, and then he rolled it again a couple games ago, so maybe that also had an effect. I mean, he said he's good. I
forgot about that.
So,
yeah, it's just a wait and see, I guess. Kind of just see what happens there,
And again, this couple days until in Wisconsin will be huge.
Let's see what else we got on. Someone asked how to get to the YouTube page. Oh, shout out Tango. Let's see. Any other questions? I got nothing on Twitter. If you guys haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Like our stream, or I'm not really sure if you can like the stream. Maybe you can. I don't know how it works, to be honest. I'm pretty sure we have like all these like you'll see your little name pop up like that if you hit the little subscribe button. I don't know if it pops up for you. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. But yeah, I mean that's Jersey Public Schools. Yeah, I feel your pain there. I feel your pain. Sorry, man, for the wording, guys. Jersey Public Schools. I feel your pain too much there. Ouch. Yeah, I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just keep looking. Let's see. Matt Keeler went to. We talked about him a little bit. Went to Texas Tech. Rutgers never offered, so I think if they offered, they probably would have had a really good shot. Let's see. What else we got?
One thing I just saw on from my tap into Piscataway that I also dabble with. Rutgers president Jonathan Holloway tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, prayers to
The
President
article
Holloway.
says so far it's symptoms are mild, so that's good.
Okay.
But
Well, that's
at
very
home
good. That's
on
great
training.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah, no prayers for him. I hope speedy recovery. I know not many people know this. I know you know this. I had it. I luckily had no symptoms, so I think I was technically at home for 2 weeks, but like no symptoms, nothing. So I had I thought I had a sinus infection actually, but yeah, I hope he gets a speedy recovery and hope he's bounces back pretty quickly. I know
No doubt.
there was something else I just saw. What was I just looking at? We talked about that. Talked about the game. Is there anything else really? Is that pretty much it?
Yeah. Wrestling played. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Wrestling played. I'm not
Wrestled.
played, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
they obviously the Big Ten is a bear when it comes to wrestling as well. So, I mean, I didn't think Rutgers would win it all, and I was surprised. Actually, the first bout, I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah,
I was surprised that Aguilar got pinned there. But
I don't know
other than that,
what happened there. Definitely not pretty that Aguilar got pinned. That basically ruined any single chance they had of winning that match. I know we didn't really expect them to. The crazy part is I think they dropped down to 3 in the rankings, which is at least in the coaches poll, Michigan. They're number 3, and now Rutgers just took on. Maybe they were number 3 beforehand. Maybe we had it wrong. No, whatever. Anyway, Michigan's top 3 program. Penn State's number 2. Iowa's number 1. Nebraska's number 5. Ohio State's 7. Minnesota 12. And then Rutgers at 15. So that's like half the Big Ten right there before you even. It's going to be a tough year. But you have Sebastian Rivera, absolute stud. He showed it the other day. Missing Sammy Alvarez definitely hurt.
Yeah,
at 133, I think it was.
I believe so. Yeah, 133.
Yeah, 133, and that definitely hurts not having him. I know they also were missing Michich. I don't know how to say it, to be honest.
Yes,
but
yeah.
both
I think they would have. Yeah,
would have been a great battle. But yeah, missing him. Sebastian came in, killed it. Billy Janser looked good. Colucci went up against number 2 heavyweight. No surprise. It's a tough one. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, John Poznanski.
Oh,
Poznanski
looked very good for a redshirt freshman.
No, true
freshman. Yeah,
GMC pride there.
Yeah, he's going to be very good. Scott Goodale has that program right where perfectly. I mean, obviously you'd like to see him take another leap, but
sure.
Having Sebastian, who's probably a championship contender. I was interested to see if they'd use Boone McDermott, the JUCO champ, see if he gets a couple more reps. I don't know if he wrestled in those extra dual meets, whatever they had.
Yeah,
afterwards.
You know what? I remember seeing the results. Let me see if I can pull them up.
I don't know who posted them, but I saw them before.
I saw it somewhere.
I think that's kind of a cool idea. So it gets guys more reps, and they don't. Yeah. I know they don't count technically, or maybe they do.
They count for seating.
Yeah, which is cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go.
Did McDermott wrestle?
Alex Esposito wrestled.
Okay, so McDermott
at heavyweight.
Interesting. But,
so Michigan won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 about 7 of
10. 11.
Rutgers won. Oh, actually Esposito won, and Gerard Angelo won at 149.
Okay, yeah, Gerard Angelo is a pretty solid wrestler. He actually looked sneakily good in the Big Ten tournament last year, if I recall correctly. I think that was him. Yeah, I guess. Let's see what else. Any other question? Oh, a couple more. Geo Baker has to have the ball in his hands a little more. He's great on the pick and roll. Yeah, but I feel like off-ball Geo's... I like off-ball Geo a lot. I like when he plays off-ball. He gets those open threes. I'd rather just... I don't even know. I guess Geo kind of has to have the ball in his hands. There's not really another true point guard.
I'm actually the opposite. I kind of like having Geo at the point guard instead of Jacob. I think Jacob kind of goes too fast if he has the ball too much or something,
Yeah.
But I think Geo's more of a calmer, he has more of a calming effect. So
Eric asked if there's any update on the situation with the women's hoops team and COVID situation that they're in, whatever you want to call it. I don't think we have an update on that. We'll probably get an update right after this and post it on the message board.
yeah,
What are they at? They missed 2 games now?
the 2 games. I think their next game is Thursday. I actually meant to talk to somebody today, but I completely forgot
Yeah.
about that.
As of right now, I think they're scheduled to play still, right?
Yeah, as of right now, yeah,
As
they
long
have
as Yeah, Northwestern
well,
Thursday.
I'm looking at the
So
wrong schedule.
yeah, Northwestern Thursday. It's a tough
Yep,
one. Number 22, 23.
Steve Bleichow's daughter.
Oh, I forgot about that. She does play
Yep.
there.
hmm
Yeah. It's at the rack too, right?
I don't have the schedule up anymore.
Yeah, I have it popped up. It's at the rack. Wonder if Pike will be there to watch, or they have to leave for Wisconsin. Maybe I'm not
Oh
sure.
no, Wisconsin's home.
Is Wisconsin home?
hmm
Okay. Oh, so then he'll probably definitely be there, as long as the game happens. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
as long as everyone tests negative on. I know Pike will mention the other day they do a test before and they do the test the day of for men. So I'm assuming women's is the same exact thing. So we'll
right.
probably know at the very latest about this game on Wednesday. They'll probably do the test. If a positive result comes back, I think that gets postponed clearly. Otherwise, they play. Simple as that. With Augie and Nunzio on staff, are you surprised recruiting hasn't been more successful in North Jersey? No, not really. North Jersey's a different animal. I don't think there's a single coach out there that has Fran Brown type recruiting abilities for North Jersey. I think having those two definitely helps a lot. But end of the day, it's still going to be very hard to recruit those kids. The North Jersey kids are always getting offers left and right. They're going to have some of the top schools after them nonstop. There's not really much else you can do other than win. You have to win, and winning cures everything. I can't stress that enough. The more you win, the better recruits you'll get. It's a double-edged sword, I know, because
hmm
you need the recruits to win. The recruits want to come if you're winning. Something's got to give eventually. I think Rutgers was very close to having as many as 5, maybe even 6 wins this year. You can argue with the triple overtime loss
Sure.
to Michigan,
The Illinois
Nebraska,
game was
Illinois
close.
game. You probably should have won the Nebraska game. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Nebraska technically was a one-score game, but they got
Yeah,
really dominated there.
yeah, they got dominated. There's another game I can't think of. What am I thinking? Michigan,
I think that was
Purdue.
it. Ohio State, Indiana weren't
Yeah,
close.
those are not close. And yeah, I mean, you win, you solve everything. So I'm not too shocked with the recruiting for North Jersey. It is what it is. It's gonna always be tough, regardless. Even if you win, I think it's gonna be tough. But winning definitely helps a lot. Um, Rohan said thoughts on Montez Mathis' shot selection. So here's the funny thing. It was really bad originally. I talked to shotquality.com's Simon Gersberg, he goes based off every single shot, percentage wise, talks about like the inside shots, outside, mid range, so on and so on. This was before Mathis had that little 2-game stint, 3-game stint? No, 2-game
hmm
stint, where he had those I think he missed like 2 threes in 2 games,
Yeah,
which was
yeah, he went like
impressive.
5 for 5 at
Yeah.
one point. I
But
think he needs the ball more.
But before that, they talked about. He was talking to me. He said, honestly, if Rutgers took the way it works, they go based off if this team took west of this shot, they'd be better. They take more of this shot, they'll be better. The shot he said that was the most volatile shot that they did not want to take, and they'd probably be a better team was Montez Mathis catch and shoot. Yes, he struggled catch and shoot a little bit. He had that little stint where I was like kind of confident he came back and bounced back, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't know why I just posted that article. Like, it looks good now all of a sudden.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I mean, his shot selection is definitely questionable, but I think you could question a lot of the team's shot selections. I think they're just missing some bad ones, like really bad ones. I don't know
yeah,
if you got any thoughts on that too, but
yeah. I mean, I touched on it before. The layups, they're missing layups. I think right now they're shooting like 60%. In terms of layups at the rim,
so bad.
they were like 58%. I want to say against Ohio State, and they obviously didn't shoot well from deep either. So, and at the free throw line. So I mean, you're not going to win games if you're not rebounding, you're not playing defense, and you're not making the layups. I remember the previous game against Michigan State. The body language suffered after they kept missing all the shots inside. They had to get it all fixed. And get back to like the kind of swagger they had at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do to change that, but like you said, they gotta fix the rebounding, man. Rebounding. How do you miss this many layups? Like I keep looking at the wrong camera, but damn, that is a lot of 60% is not good. I was kind of intrigued, and I think this was I think Mathis only played 24 minutes the other night. I don't know if it's more because of McConnell playing better, which I guess you could argue, or it's just like Jacobs playing 34. Like I don't know. It seemed like Mathis didn't play as much. I know he had the second worst behind Gio plus minus of the team. I think it was in the 20s still. For a guy that's pretty good on defense, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
But seems like he struggled. I told you, the whole mojo of the team just seems off. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they could fix it, get this week off, get some rest, get in the right mindset, get Cliff back, ideally, go from there.
Yeah.
What else we got in here? I feel like Gio isn't the same as last year. He doesn't have the same trigger or confidence. Yeah, I just kind of mentioned that with the confidence factor. He plays such a big... I kind of hate using the word factor again, but it plays such a big factor. It's a bigger factor than people think, but... yeah, they got to gain some kind of confidence boost, and once they get that confidence boost, I think they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And they'll be back in tournament talk. So, all right, I guess on that note, we're gonna end it there. Almost 2 hours in, geez. All right, let's not do that again.
Well, thanks everyone for all the questions and everything like that.
Yep, definitely, guys. If you aren't signed up already, TKR 30 promo code, free 30-day trial of the Night Report membership. We got all the inside info on there. I know Alex Gleitman just posted news about a transfer this morning. Possible transfer, I should say. Let's see what else. We got Rutgers Hoops Talk all this week, all last week. It's going to be the talk of the board for the next couple months, I would assume, until spring. Rutgers Wrestling previews each week from Lex. He's killing it, and he almost predicted everything but the Aguilar match, I think. Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have predicted that. Anyway.
I don't think, no, that was it. But all right, guys, we're going to end it there. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Follow us on social media. You can see all the links that are going to pop up in a second. And all right, roll Tide.